Here we go. Hey guys! Today I am going to do a tattoo tour. I get so many questions about all of them because everybody sees this. So yeah, I thought that I would walk you through all my tattoos, why I have them, and all that kind of jazz. So let's get started. I'm going to try to put pictures somewhere. First one that I'll talk about is I have a cross made out of nails on my ankle. There was one of my first tattoos, and it's kind of faded into just a blob of a cross, so you can't really tell that it's supposed to be nails, but it's supposed to be nail. Left ankle I have a pumpkin. The pumpkin is, I have that matching with my mom. I'm a Halloween baby. I was born 2 days before Halloween, so Halloween's been my favorite holiday for a very long time. So yeah, so I have that little cute little jack-o'-lantern pumpkin because I'm a Halloween baby. Next tattoo that I have is an avocado, and it's got a silly little goofy face, but the face has faded because it was one of my very first tattoos. The story behind the avocado is actually kind of funny. So my mom also has this one matching with me. It's gonna be a trend. But besides that, yes, so the avocado is hilarious. So there was like a video of a kid going around a couple years ago, and his parents give him an avocado wrapped up in Christmas wrapping for Christmas as like a gag joke, but he opens it and he goes, "It's an avocado, thanks."
It's an avocado! Thanks!
My mom and I both love avocados, so every year I get her an avocado wrapped up, and it's just an inside joke and it's funny. Those two, the pumpkin and the avocado, are both on my left ankle. The next tattoo that I have is lyrics from Harry Styles' Fine Line, and it says "We'll be alright," and I put it on my right knee. So yeah, if you don't know by now, I'm a huge Harry Styles fan. I've always loved him. He's impacted my life in ways that I can't really explain in this video, but if y'all are curious, you can ask. I will answer it. Love on Tour started is when I started to actually go to concerts of Harry's, and every time he sung Fine Line, it just kind of is a really tough song to listen to, but live it's so beautiful. But yeah, I got those lyrics because we're kind of outside of Fine Line era, and Fine Line era is probably my favorite Harry era to date, so I don't know, it's just nostalgic. It's something that I'll always remember. This time of my life has been very fruitful when it comes to that kind of stuff, so I just know that I'll remember that for the rest of my life, and every time I look at my knee, I will be reminded of those really, really fun memories that I got to share with my mom, and just really fun concert experiences. The next ones I can actually kind of show you a little bit. I have on my arm here, it's mountains and LA. I don't know if you can see them, sorry. But yeah, it's a mountain range and LA. So I got these at different times actually. The mountain range I've had for a while now, probably a couple years even. I don't know, it's been a long time. But I got the mountain range with the wave at the end originally because I'm from LA. I was born there. I just love it there. I think I'm definitely a West Coast gal. Later on, I added the LA on top of it because I've always wanted the letters. Next is going to be the faith on my hand. So my mom and I have this one matching, and this was my second tattoo. I adore this thing. Faith has been something that I've carried with me my entire life, so yeah, it's super, super special, and I love that I get to share it with my mom because my mom's my best friend and the best person in the entire world, so yeah. The next one that I will talk about is my faith, love, hope on my wrist. So the cross, the heartbeat, and the heart. So the cross stands for faith, the heartbeat is hope, and then the heart is for love. This has been my life saying since I could remember. I remember being 8 and seeing this tattoo come up on Pinterest and just absolutely falling in love with it, and I've known that I wanted that to be my first tattoo since I was 8 years old. So getting this tattoo and having that experience and letting it be my first tattoo has been something that is really special. Faith, hope, love is my life motto. I live by that. Having faith in not only God having a plan for me, but just having faith in myself and faith that this life has purpose, and if you live it through, then you're gonna be okay. Having hope for the future is always something that I carry with me. I think hope is necessary to have a life. I think hope is very significant in the manner of, if you don't have something to hope for, or if you don't allow yourself to live in a space of there is something better out there for me in the future, then you kind of just allow yourself to get into a pit. And I don't like living my life like that. I like to be a more positive human, I guess. I don't know how to phrase that correctly, but I think you'll understand what I'm saying. If you don't, I'm sorry. I know that was hella confusing. But then the heart for love, I'm a big lover. I think that is super important to love every last person that you encounter, whether or not you can do life with them or not. I think loving everybody as yourself is something that is super important, and that starts with loving yourself, which is probably one of the most difficult things that we have to go through in this society. But I think it once you gain that self-worth and that self-love, it's way easier to forgive and see the good in other people, and just loving them through their flaws. But yeah, so that tattoo is probably one of the most meaningful tattoos that I've had, just because I have wanted it for so long, and it really is something that I carry with me every single day. And the funny thing about my tattoos is sometimes they itch when I need to pay attention to them. That's going to sound really weird if you don't have tattoos, or if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's ink in your skin, so whatever. But this one always tends to itch when I'm going through things and need a reminder of why I'm here, and to keep going and to keep pushing, and just to remember that, like, I'm okay. Like, things suck, but they're temporary. But yeah, so that's a weird little fun fact about that. The next tattoo that I want to talk about is my vampire teeth. So I have vampire teeth on my left shoulder, kind of like up here by my neck. Okay, this one everybody giggles at when they see it and or if they find it. It has a funny story to it. So my favorite TV show is The Vampire Diaries. If you haven't seen it or don't know what it is, I'll put a picture of. So that's my favorite TV show. So that's part of the reason why I have that there. But also I'm a big Twilight fan. I sound so stupid and dumb, but you know what? Whatever. I've always been drawn to vampires and the idea of vampires. I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but it's been something that I have loved, and Robert Pattinson is my favorite human on the planet. I have a cactus, a boot, and a Texas that says home on it on my left shoulder blade. That one is very significant to where I live and where I've grown up most of my life. My family moved to Texas when I was like 5, and I've been here ever since. I love it here. I adore it here. I think Texas is a very fun place to be. I think the people here are very interesting and in a good way. I adore Texas. This is my home. It's been my home for a long time. Next tattoo I have is an I love you hand. I took 5 years of ASL. I adore the language. I think it is super important to learn. I think it is a very special type of language. I think it's very beautiful. The I love you hand is something that I think I just naturally tend to do without knowing that I do it. Like when I say bye to people, I go, bye, love you, that kind of dealio. But yeah, I also just think it's really beautiful, and it's a representation of such a beautiful language, something that I hold really close to my heart. And the one right next to it is some lyrics from one of Malcolm's songs. It's called Pictures. I will leave it in the description. But it is a newfound special place in my heart. I think Malcolm is a very special person. Again, you know this about me if you watched my last video. But even besides that, the lyrics that I have tattooed on my body is "Let's take back the time that we lost," and that really spoke to me in the manner of the last 6 or 7 years of my life with my parents getting divorced. My mom and I have really kind of embodied that phrase or statement, however you want to phrase it. But I think my mom and I have really embraced the idea of let's take back the time that we lost, in the manner of let's live our life, let's not stay stagnant, let's grow. Sorry, Bonnie's in the background. But yeah, that one is really special, and I think that it really embodies this time in my life. This is something that everybody can embrace in a manner of their own life and their own situations, but taking back the time that we lost, meaning live your life, do what you think is best for you in a safe manner, and go about life in a way that, hey, I'm good, I'm supposed to be here, I'm important too, I do things that are adding to the world as well, whether you're sitting on your butt or not. Like, you're still here for a purpose. And I think getting into that mindset of, okay, I am here, now what can I do, and let's take back the time that we lost. Let's embrace the fact that we can't get time back, but we do have time ahead, and we can do better in the future. We can only grow and change as humans if we see fit. But yeah, I don't know if that made sense, but I hope it did. Next tattoo that I want to talk about is one of my newest tattoos. Literally, like 2 days ago I got it, and it's this anchor. This anchor, my mom and I have matching. My mom's reasoning behind it, that kind of follows mine, is that we are each other's anchors. I do almost everything with my mom. My mom's a very special human, and she holds a very special place in my heart. We've gone through a lot as a family, and I just think that her and I's relationship is very, very, very special. And my anchor is God first, but her second, and I think that is very special for both of us. So yeah, so that's why we decided to get the anchor tattoo. The other tattoo that I got a couple days ago is the Treat People with Kindness tattoo. Again, I think that's very self-explanatory of why I got it. Harry is very important to me, but also treating people with kindness is something that I've always lived by. So yeah, that's one that I've been wanting to get, just haven't yet. So finally have the letters on my body. The next one that I'll talk about is the Faith in the Future on my wrist. So Faith in the Future, if you don't know, is Louis Tomlinson's second album. And it's his newest album. He's actually going on tour this year, and we're going to see him, so that's exciting. But yeah, so that is very significant. Louis Tomlinson is another human that I hold a lot of value to. He's very special to me. He was my favorite in One Direction. Although people think it was Harry, it was not. It was Louis. But that's besides the point. But yeah, the reason I got that, again, tattooed is, one, because the title of the album is Faith in the Future, and that's something that I stand by, like I was explaining earlier with the one that's above it, my Faith, Hope, Love. Kind of on the lines of that, so Faith in the Future. is very significant to me, but I also really love the album and all the music and the lyrics and all that goes into this album. And I'll talk about the little smiley face that I have on my finger. So this is Malcolm's symbol. You may think that is really silly, but again, it's on my body, not yours. But the smiley faces have always been like my favorite thing. And then Malcolm has this one, so I was just like, that's cute, he's special to me. But yeah, so that's why I have this one. This one's probably the least meaningful tattoo and the most like spontaneous, quick decision, but that's fine. Next I have these 3 butterflies on my left hand, and these have a couple different meanings depending on the circumstances, I guess. I don't know what I was trying to say, but yeah, they have a couple different meanings. A butterfly means like transformation, and I've done a lot of self-growth in the last couple years of my life, so I wanted to get a butterfly, but the reason I got 3 of them is for 2 different reasons. I have 2 brothers, so that makes 3 of us kids, so one's for each of us. Also, 3 is just like my lucky number. I always tend to see things in 3s, I like to do things in 3s without knowing sometimes. 3 is kind of that number for me. And since I have 2 brothers, it kind of just goes hand in hand with us being a trio. Next I'm going to talk about my light bulb. So this light bulb is very intricate and has a lot of different things within it. The light bulb itself and then the lyrics that are above it, "Do you know who you are from Harry Styles' song Lights Up," one of my favorites. So this light bulb collage type of thing is a collage of different songs from HS1 and Fine Line from Harry. The little fish is from Adore You. The moon is for Canyon Moon. The angel is for Only Angel. And then the 2 ghosts, which you can't really see in the picture, and I apologize, but they're right here. There's 2 little ghosts. That's for 2 ghosts, obviously. And then the big butterfly in the top middle part of the tattoo is Harry's butterfly that's on his chest, and then the other butterfly is just random because I wanted to fill that space, but I didn't know what to put there, so I just put a butterfly. Next I'm going to talk about this part of my arm, which is images and all that from Louis Tomlinson's first album, Walls. So each image represents a different song. So I have the word fearless on my wrist for the song Fearless. The 2 hands with the 28 on it is Louis' hand, and it's for 2 of us. Louis' face and Harry's face is for Perfect Now. Yeah, so this is literally a picture of both of their faces, and I think I love it. Because if you don't know, you don't know, but if you know, you know. The heart and the brain go hand in hand. The heart is for Don't Let It Break Your Heart. The brain is for Kill My Mind. And then I have walls against my arm here. The A I turned into an XD smiley face because that's Louis' thing, and the XD smiley face is for defenseless. These are Louis and Harry's hands up here, and that's for habit. The hourglass is for Too Young. The paper airplane is for Always You. The mixtape is for We Made It. And then the flame, last but not least, is for Only the Brave. So yeah, those tattoos are significant because of the album Walls, obviously. But that's Louis' first solo album. And again, like I said earlier, Louis is my favorite in the band, and so I will support him for the rest of my life, for the rest of his. But yeah, it just holds a special place in my heart, and each song on that album has helped me through different times in my life. And I think it's just a really, really special album, and I think it's really special, the message that he conveys, I guess, in in each of the songs. Next, I'll talk about the 333 on my elbow. The 333 is actually kind of funny. Kind of a funny story. So 333 is an angel number that I tend to see quite often in my life. Again, like I said earlier, the 3 has been my lucky number, has been my number my entire life. So 333 is just a significant number and I love it. But it's actually written in the Sterniola triplets handwriting. So the first 3 is in Nick's, the second 3 is Matt's, and the last 3 is Chris's. And it's in their handwriting. So this tattoo holds a lot of meaning, not only for my life, but because of those boys and the impact of those boys on my life. I got to meet them, and they are literally the sweetest humans on the planet. And they are very good at what they do, and they're just genuinely living their life in a manner of, I'm going to take it and I'm going to do with it what I want in such a positive manner. But yeah, like I said earlier, they are super, super, super sweet, special people, and it was an honor to get to actually meet them. Next thing that I'm going to talk about is the Paris on my arm. So the Eiffel Tower that says Paris. My mom and I took a Europe trip this last summer, and we finally got to go to Paris. We've both been dreaming about going to Paris for a long time. So we went to Paris, and yeah, so that's why we have that tattoo. We spent like 4 or 5 days there, and it was just super chill, and it's just a really beautiful place. The next one that I'm going to talk about is the pot with the flowers and then the date that's in the pot. This is a very, 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 very special tattoo to me. And each part has different reasons, but they all go together. So the date is my baptism date. It's June 16th of 2018. That was the day that I dedicated my life to Christ for myself, meaning my parents baptized me when I was a baby, but this date is significant because this is the date that I rebaptized myself for myself in a manner of taking that on, that responsibility, I guess you could say it as, for myself. The pot has significance because of a sermon that my youth pastor did that saved me. So the Isaiah 64:8 is the verse, and it basically says that God is our potter and that we are the clay that he molds. And so during this sermon that my youth pastor was preaching, he had a physical clay pot, and I just remember him throwing it on the ground and it bursting. And then afterwards he read Isaiah 64:8, and how God is our potter and we are the clay that he molds. The shattered pieces kind of just represented how we are without God. Like we fall apart, we have our struggles, and we necessarily can't be put back together in a manner of fullness. So basically the idea of God molding us in his image and molding us to be who we are, the imagery behind the actual clay pot has always stuck with me. I think the idea of that is kind of really cool. I don't know, it's always just kind of stuck with me, and that was the moment that I realized that this is something that I want for my life, this is something that I believe in, that kind of jazz. But yeah, so that, and then the flowers that come out of the pot represent the growth since that day, and then the continuous growth that is to be had as I walk through my life. The next tattoo is going to be the W with the circle and then 22 on it. So at my church, we do a students conference every year, every summer, and this last summer I had the opportunity to take my little brother, so I took my little brother with me, and both of our lives have changed incredibly since then, but just getting to go to that conference with him and to experience all of those things with him was super, super special to me and to him. So just getting to share those experiences in a room like that with a bunch of people that are my friends, and just kind of pluck them into it was really, really cool. And there's not really a whole lot that I can like say about it, because it was just like you had to be there to know what it was like, but just to be in that kind of environment with him, to share it with him, was really, really cool and really, really special. The next tattoos are all Harry's house related. So each image up here on my arm is for Harry's house. So the record player with the sushi record is for Music for a Sushi Restaurant. That's probably one of my favorites. The moon and stars above the telephone is for Late Night Talking. Yeah, I chose to do the more like vintagey telephone because I think it's more fun and more iconic and more well known than just like an iPhone on my arm. So yeah, I was not about to put an iPhone on my arm. That would have been ridiculous. The next one is the wine bottle for grape juice, and it actually says 1982 on it, which is really fun and cute. And then the disco ball, I had no idea what I wanted to do for As It Was. This was the last one that I did because I had no idea what imagery I wanted to put on my body for As It Was. So I chose a disco ball because I've wanted a disco ball. A disco ball reminds me of Harry. And so yeah, I have the disco ball. The next one is the blue bird with the honey stick. It is for daylight, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory because of the lyrics. Next one is the lettering of Little Freak. Little Freak's my favorite song on the album, and so yeah, I'm a little biased, but I love this tattoo. I think it's fun. This one's actually the one that I get most questions asked about it because it literally says Little Freak on my arm. But I think it's hilarious. It's a conversation starter, so yeah, I personally am obsessed and love it. The next one is the bike with the tulips, and that one's for Matilda. Tulips are actually my favorite flower, so the fact that this album had tulips and they were pink tulips were even more weird for me, because tulips are my favorite. And then the bicycle I wanted in the like one line kind of style because I thought it was really pretty. The next one is the popcorn bucket, and that one's for cinema. I love this tattoo. I think it's hilarious. Popcorn is also one of my favorite snacks, so that's a bonus. The next one is probably my second favorite off of these ones for Harry's house because it's Harry's face with the planets for daydreaming. This one, I've gotten multiple comments saying that it's a woman's face, which I think is hilarious, because it is Harry's face, so it's just really funny that people think it's a woman's face with planets in it. The next is the bus on the back of my arm. This is the one that I've had the longest out of the Harry's house ones, but it wasn't originally for Harry's house. So originally I got this tattoo because I love Volkswagen buses and I want to own one in the future. So when I was thinking of the concept of these images for Harry's house, I was like, I already have the bus, it's perfect, it's something that I love, and it's for keep driving. Next one is the satellite on my shoulder. Oh my gosh, I keep saying they're my favorite, but I just adore them all. But the satellite is super fun, and I love that it's huge on my shoulder. Next one is the actual Harry's house. It's a representation for boyfriends. Again, I didn't really know what to do for boyfriends, but I knew I wanted the Harry's house, so that one is for boyfriends. The last but not least tattoo, wow, we've made it, is the lettering Love of My Life that's right here for Love of My Life on Harry's house. But yeah, I got it in the really pretty font because I wanted it to be that like delicate, cute vibe, because it literally says Love of My Life. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all so much, but if you have any questions or you want to know more about what's to come, because I have some future tattoos planned, Leave it down in the comments, let me know. So thank you guys again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and yeah.